Bruno was good, wasn't he, for Newcastle?
Oh, yeah.
He's performing well now. And the boy, was it
Tanoli? Very good.
He's fitted back in.
They've got a lovely wee balance here.
Yeah.
And Joe Lunton, who's been great as well.
Oh, I want to you're right. I want to apologise because when he first came, remember we were having a laugh with Harmy.
What a change.
Joe from Linton. Oh, he's gone in midfield now, and you think,
isn't that amazing?
Puts himself about, loving it, strength on the ball, guessing the box.
Correct.
Yeah.
What a transformation. Superb.
And that's been reported today. United are willing to listen. This is United fans won't like this. Serious offers for any of their players, including Kobbie Mainoo and 20-year-old Argentina winger Alejandro Garnacho, according to the papers. What are you laughing at? Alejandro.
No, I was impressed. I was just smiling. I wasn't laughing.
I was watching Riviera there, and that's how it was a bit about Buenos Aires. And it was Alejandro. According to the papers, with Finance Limited, because of profitability and winding me up here. Sustainability rules, sales have to become a key part of healthy squad management at United. When are we going to hear about City, by the way? Anyway, for more on the future of the Manchester United's young talent, let's get the latest from talkSPORT reporter Ben Jacobs. Ben, morning.
Morning, Ben.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
Top form, mate. Brilliant.
I think this will be a bit of a shock to some United fans. You know, they'll be looking at the players that can't get a game, offload a few, raise a bit of money, but to get rid of these two youngsters, that will not go down well.
No, it won't. PSR is the name of the game for Manchester United, and also if they're going to strengthen, then outgoings are going to be very important as well. Now, whether anything happens in January remains to be seen. Kobbie Mainoo is speaking to the club about a contract extension, so there's an element of pushing to stay at Manchester United, and we know that it helps to have another option too, from Chelsea's point of view, because that's where the link is with Kobbie Mainoo. Yes, they admire the player, but no, they haven't moved to any substantial degree anyway. And you can make an argument that that position might be somewhere where they need an extra body in the short term. But if they bring back Leslie Okwuchukwu and Andre Santos from their loan spells and Romeo Lavia is fit, add Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and they don't really need somebody in the centre of the park, which is ultimately why they got rid of Conor Gallagher. So the Chelsea links are genuine but not advanced. But whenever a player wants to extend, it perhaps helps, doesn't it, to have another option on the table for leverage. Rashford did this when he signed his new 5-year deal. They went and spoke to PSG. He still stayed. And I think it's fair to say that Kobbie Mainoo's preference is to stay at Manchester United, but the new deal is not close. And if anything, Manchester United are prioritising the renewal of Ahmad instead right now. And that is perhaps why those close to Mainoo are getting a little bit agitated, because yes, it's nice to have options, but I think the player's priority is still to stay at Manchester United.
It's an interesting one though, Ben, because you look at United and clearly, I just said earlier, he's going to have a clear out and bring his own people in. That's the very least that he deserves, Amarim. But you look at, for example, somebody like McTominay, right, who is doing exceptionally well at Napoli. It gives him a little bit of a headache because clearly you're only going to get money for somebody like maybe it's Garnacho or whoever it may be, some of the younger ones, Kobbie Mainoo. But in an ideal world, it's the kind of Casemiros that you want to get rid of off the wage bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you make a great point, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's fee, but also who can you remove off the wage bill, which is why it's beneficial to Manchester United that Rafael Varane left, even though they didn't get a fee for him. Casemiro's wage is a stumbling block financially, Marcus Rashford's as well, and Manchester United have got big decisions to make because it helps to some degree to do a short-term solution for Rashford, but less so if Manchester United are still saddled paying 50% of the wages. And if you look at the sensitive Greenwood situation, the Sancho loan, which was difficult because there was clearly friction between Erik ten Hag and Jadon Sancho. In each case, Manchester United bowed a little bit, and you could argue the suitor, the buyer, the club loaning the player got a slightly better end of the deal. The Sancho fee, the potential Greenwood fee, depending on how high it rises, were not originally the number that Manchester United wanted. So you're absolutely right in what you say. If Manchester United want this big revamp, and it's not just a striker, it's a wide creative player, it's a left back, it might even be a centre back, it could be a backup goalkeeper, they're going to need to bring in minimum 50, if not 150 million. And the only way that you can do that is a Mainoo sale, an Anthony sale, a Rashford sale. I would say that you need two of those four types of players to get the value, because a Maguire leaving and they've extended the deal by a year, or a Lindelof departing, those kind of outgoings are just not going to allow Manchester United the freedom to move in the market.
Ben, I was just thinking maybe director of footballs have got to think about that when they give these massive contracts out. It's when it doesn't work and they have to get rid. That's the stumbling block, because I'm reading, I don't know how accurate this is, Mainoo's contract was signed just back in 2023, February. It's reported to be around 20 grand a week. He was only a kid, so 20 grand a week, a lot of money. But the midfielder's representative may hope to leverage any interest to negotiate a lucrative new deal. Shaban said earlier they're looking for around 200, 10 times that. Now, that's some rise, that's a McCoist rise, that is, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it, that we're saying 20k is peanuts, but it is at a club like Manchester United for a player now of Kobbie Mainoo's standing. So you can understand why he wants an extra reward. And we're seeing this time and time again. Cole Palmer rightly has been given incremental increases at Chelsea and a new deal, but that contract was relatively new as well. And now when you sign, it doesn't mean that you can't leave. So ultimately, the players have got a little bit of power to turn around and say, we want more money. And the other thing from Manchester United's perspective is, although they will argue that they are well protected in valuation with Rashford, with Mainoo, so if they do want to sell, they can get a big fee. There's no real history under the Glazers of being actually able to get that money. So if you think about what they've had to spend with this so-called Manchester United, in inverted commas, tax, the Xerxes fee is another good example, even if, because the players got time left on their contract, they're able to cash in, and that may help with PSR. It still doesn't mean that they'll be happy with the kind of fees that they've got, because they spent so much on these players. And that's where the homegrown talent helps, because they've come through, it's pure profit on the books. And it might be the case that Garnacho or Kobbie Mainoo has to ultimately be sacrificed.
Ben, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben.
By the way, Ali, well done the United away support when what's his name came on. He squared it for Maguire, who should have maybe hit the target and scored. Zixu. Yeah, it was a big round of applause he got, didn't he, when he came on? You know,
he's had a tough time, hasn't he?
He was in tears, wasn't he?
Well, he's had a tough time, there's no doubt about it.
He came on and he almost had the assist in the winning goal, didn't he?
He's had a tough time.
6, yeah.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.